Hey, fiance, I need you to get in the car.
How come?
You gotta get in the car. We gotta drive to the blue furry guy. I gotta interview the blue furry guy. You gotta film. I need you to film me interviewing the blue furry guy. Can you do that?
I want a fucking divorce.
Oh, it's my sweet escape. It's my sweet escape.
Select mode.
What a show!
I'm coming. I'm gonna make it here. Okay.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
You walked all the way around the couch just to go and sit there anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Great. This is my seat. Art.
Artemis Wishfoot is a furry YouTube personality who commentates on social issues within the furry community, in addition to a variety of other topics, such as politics and...
Okay, listen. You're one of the ballsiest YouTubers I know. One of the ballsiest furry YouTubers I know.
When have you seen my balls?
Listen, okay. You know what I meant. You talk about touchy subjects. You made a video about boof.
Yes,
And yes, you make videos about cancel culture. You make videos about drama.
Yep.
Why do you feel comfy in this lane?
I feel like maybe it's because I'm British and we're all naturally arrogant and feel like what we have to say has value. No one else is saying this shit, so, you know, you can see a million people decide, like, I don't have any talent, so I'm just gonna go and look at some memes and weed them out, and there's enough people that do that I feel I should provide an alternative. If I'm gonna put all of this on and try and be funny and be entertaining, I'd rather actually have something to say rather than just, you know...
Oh my God!
All right, so what is it that you think sets you apart from other people in the furry YouTube sphere?
I really do think maybe it is a level of I don't give a fuck. I spent a lot of my time being quite militant with, like, I'm not a typical YouTube furry, which made me into quite an asshole. People seem to like that, but I never really tried to be part of the cool kids club. I've seen the pattern that everyone sort of does when they join the fandom and they want to be a YouTuber where, you know, oh, look at all the stuff that I really like. I want to go and do that, so I'll just copy it. And it's kind of, I should just name drop you at this point. By and large, like, people in my life provide me a lot of content, and rather than just calling them out by name, I'll just take the name out and make a video on the issue. And it's very useful. I broke my rule with the buff situation, but I found it fucking hilarious that he unfollowed me when I made that.
Wait, really?
Like, yeah, 100%.
So in short, you are the furry version of office gossip.
Yeah. It's useful because in a very passive aggressive way I can air my dirty laundry and no one will know about it. It's almost like therapy sometimes.
Right? You need to stitch and bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this person is pissing me off and being a prick, but I'm trying not to just burn their whole life down right now. So instead, I'll just make a video.
So you talk about touchy subjects and drama, somebody pisses you off and you air your dirty laundry on camera. Should that be something we are more comfortable doing?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Yes.
Okay. Make your pitch.
Yes! I made a whole video on how I don't believe you can truly love the fandom until it's tried to kill you and you understand that it's also a shitty place. I feel too many people fall into the trap of like, furries, it's so wonderful and lovely, we're so accepting, we're so welcoming. They will fucking hang you from a tree if you don't hate something enough. Because some people are just looking to vent their rage, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not judging people for doing that, but not accepting that there's a bad side to this just means you're going to be on the receiving end one day and it's going to be a shock.
a topic that neither you nor I is uncomfortable delving into is politics. You talk about politics. Some people say, don't talk about politics in the furry fandom. What is your response?
So I have some interesting views on politics, and because of a pending green card status with USCIS, we gotta be careful. The only thing that really scares me with politics is that I get very angry very fast about certain things, and that's not healthy, so I try to not obsess over it, but I think people should be constantly talking about politics because it involves everything. There used to be an ad in the UK. It was like a cartoon skit, and it was two people in the pub. One would be like, oh, I don't want to talk about politics. And it was like, oh, I can't believe they're closing the pub. No, sorry, you don't want to talk politics. Can you believe the price of this? No, you said no politics. And that really stuck in my head because it affects everything. Everybody should be voting all the time, and everybody should be talking about politics because, I mean, how many times do you see all this fear baiting on Twitter or social media, just like, oh, they're gonna do this. Okay, but do the most basic research and actually you'll find that this guy just spits out shit for views and you're getting misled.
For those of you who don't know Bernie Sanders, he's a communist. That's it. You now know everything you need to know about Bernie Sanders.
So are you telling me that end wokeness isn't a reliable news source?
Funnily enough, they're about just as reliable as libs from TikTok. So.
Oh, shit!
I'm curious kind of how you're thinking, you know, when you think about the way that you put out content and the way that you think about growing your media empire.
Here, this is the upload.
I don't know what.
Hey, camera guy, you have my phone. Can you unfollow me real quick? Can you get rid of my libs of TikTok and my End Wokeness Patreon subscription?
And can you put him on my Patreon as well? There's a $75 a month tier on there. That'd be great.
We don't make that much money, sorry.
I've heard people use the phrase niche internet micro celebrity to describe you. You've definitely got the niche part down.
Yeah, you know, I occupy that zone where I can talk about politics and revolution and then end the video like, hey, do you want to see my feet pics? Because here's a shameless plug. You've got to strike that balance, apparently.
Does that ever feel like a weird dichotomy to you? Because I've simultaneously made videos about Nancy Mace, and I've also made videos where I interview a muscle inflation artist, you know?
It always feels like a dichotomy to me. And I've toyed around with the idea of just trying to merge the two.
Yeah?
Because I mean, the amount of times
so like Nancy Mace feed pics. Is
literally that, like, I make a big point about something I care about and I get maybe 1K views, maybe 1.2. I talk about like foot care or something, 15K. And the idea of just being like, guys, this is how we're going to fix the world's problems. So,
if you want to expand your viewer base to the GOP, then make a video with some feet in it and put AOC in the title, and Ben Shapiro will click on it in a heartbeat.
There we go. There we go.
What are some, who are like maybe some up and coming people in the furry community that you're really hoping make it and do well?
So, I know that you're just hoping I say you.
Yes, please kiss my ass so hard that it becomes pruny.
This is not that kind of video. This is the really shitty thing about me is I'm a really bad furry. Like people will be like, oh, what furry YouTube do you like? I don't watch furry YouTube. I don't watch any of it.
That's brilliant.
Like, I watch your stuff because a certain person who puppeteered us together showed it to me. I'm like, oh fuck, that's good. But then it just sort of exits my... Do you know what I watch on YouTube?
What?
How it's made videos. I fucking love those. Show me how you make a snowplow. I'll eat that shit up. That's what I watch.
Do you have like
autism? Probably.
Okay. So earlier you said that your relationship with furry YouTube is that you watch it, maybe you watch it, then you're done.
Pretty much.
What do you say to the terminally online people in this fandom? What are like some unhealthy social media relationships that you see amongst furries?
So I made this video quite a few times. I made a whole video on like they're not what you think they are. I would love people to have a bit more of a sense of what you're seeing as a caricature. It's not real. Everything you see online about a person is something that they're choosing to show you. Like, this is all just a
Like,
performance.
we don't know each other type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, what you're seeing is a scripted performed caricature. It's not real. I feel so many people get attached to certain personas because, like, oh, I used to watch you when I came up in this thing. So that's great, that's wonderful. How do you think all those people who watch Kiro are feeling right now?
I feel like you and I will commiserate on this, right? You and I probably agree that everything we both say in our videos is correct, and we're obviously right 1,000% of the time. But also, like, I'm a cunt, and I'm not that smart.
He is.
We
We all understand that this is like an exaggerated version of who we really are. It's like drag. You know, drag is who that person is turned up to the max. Furry is basically the same thing. And the amount of people who have met me at cons and been like, I really thought you'd be a massive cunt. I'm like, I mean, who's to say I'm not?
I especially like your comparison to drag. You know, like right now we're in drag, and maybe if we took it off, the result would be horrifying. Just look at Donald Trump without bronzer, right? On that note, Art, I have never thought I would have so much fun speaking to a loudmouth, asexual British furry. This was delightful.
I
Thank
take
you.
offense at that. Wow, apparently I'm really underwhelming in expectations. Great, wonderful.
I'm. Well, yeah, I guess I'm admitting to you that I set the
I
bar
thought this
pretty
was
low.
going to be fucking awful, but at least you didn't disappoint
I thought
me.
this was gonna suck and it was great. No, Art, this was great. Thank you so much for this enriching, in-depth conversation.
Yeah.